Hello students, today we are going to start with new chapter, that is chapter number 3 from nursing education. The chapter is the instructional media and types. Today we are going to do instructional aids, the types of instructional aids, its uses, selection, preparation and utilization. First of all, the introduction. Technological media or learning device help the teaching process. Technological media and learning device. What are the technological media? Like internet, computer, like internet, computer and other devices which we use for learning. Learning made more concrete with the help of technological media. Helps to motivation, clarification and stimulation, because everything available there. First of all, we can show in front of the students, then explain, show and tell. Significant gain in informational learning, retention, because there are in here the students can see the things and can receive the explanation and recall. Thinking and reasoning activities also there. Interest, imagination of the students, better assimilation means to understand till the depth, and personal growth and development. Instructional media, also known as AV aids, audio visual aid. Audio means we can listen, then video we can listen as well as we can visualize the images to the related topic. Then next is an effective instructional media. It's very effective because it helps to clarify the concepts or data which are present in the presentation. Then highlight most significant point, increasing audience retention, because it looks like very interesting, focusing audience attention, then creating interest to learn, because there are two-way process, audio as well as visual. Then stimulating thought, injecting humor. A good aid is like a window, it should not call attention to itself, it should just let in the light. Then there are the famous proverb given by Confucius: I see and I forget, I hear and I remember, I do and I understand. I hope you are clear this. When we read something, 10% of what we read we can remember. Hearing words, 20% we remember. Seeing word, 30% we remember. Watching a movie, looking at an exhibit, watching a demonstration, seeing it done on location, 50% we can remember, because there are two dimensions, listening and watching. Participation in a discussion, giving a talk. Okay, 70% we can remember which we say. Doing a dramatic presentation, simulating a real experience, doing the real thing, because we can learn by doing more. That's why the 90% of things we can remember after 2 weeks. Okay. Next is importance of instructional media. Instructional media are very much important because it attracting the attention of the learner. Then it create or develop the interest. Then it adjusting the learning climate. Everyone present in that particular room want to learn the things. Promoting acceptance of an idea. Then to increase the learner's motivation, to avoid the learner's bored, because there are the explanation given by the teacher and that explanation present in the form of picture in front of the audience. Then to make the learners easy to understand the instructional material, to make the teaching learning process more systematic. Then 43% more likely to be persuaded. Persuaded means we can persuaded, here we can learn about the reasoning behind that particular thing, then learning is improved up to 200%, retention is improved up to 38% with the help of aviates, time to explain complex subject is reduced by 25 to 40%. Then the definition: instructional media are those sensory objects or images which initiate or stimulate and reinforce learning. It can enhance the idea of learning. Instructional media are those devised by the use of which communication of ideas between persons and groups in various teaching and training situation is helped. The next is, these are termed to be multisensory materials because hearing sense used here, and we can see, we can hear, that's why it's multisensory. Another definitions: media are various components in learner's environment which support the learners learn. Media are physical means which are used to send messages to the student and stimulate them to learn. Then the next is, instructional media encompasses all the materials and physical means an instructor and teacher might use to implement instructions and facilitate learners' achievement of instructional objectives. Next is, aids are those aids which help in completing the triangular process of learning, because aids stimulate the learner to learn in the learning process. Then the learner motivate and everything their doubt clarify at the time of the lecture. Okay. Then types of instructional media. There are various types of instructional media based on the sense they stimulate. Audio, visual. Audio we can hear, visual we can see. Visual also 2-3 kind, like non-projected, non-objected, projected still, and audiovisual, projected and motion. Multimedia also present here. Then according to the learner's control over them, learner controlled or non-controlled, type of experience they provide, and according to their reach, individuals, small or large groups, and mass media. Then the next is audio. What include in audio? Voice, any human sender of the message, gramophone records, audio tapes, telephonic conversation. Then visual, we can see and read, textbooks, supplementary books, magazines, newspapers, clippings from published material, duplicated written material. Then visual non-projected, what comes under? Flat picture, cutouts, poster, charts, graphs, cartoons, etc. Visual non-projected 3-dimension, models, mock-up, display materials, globes, 3D, specimen, animate or inanimate. Then the next is visual projected still, slides, film strips, OHP, micro image system, microfilm, microcard, AV, audiovisual projected motion, film, TV, CCTV, video, cassettes. Multimedia packages, slide plus tape, slide plus tape, slide plus tape plus workbook, radio plus slide plus poster, TV plus workbook. Then new emerging, teleconferencing, cable television, broadcastings, communication satellites, etc. Then Vernon 1996 states that there are 6 kinds of media. We can see next: drawing or teacher mode drawings, still pictures, audio recording, motion picture and TV, real object, simulation and models, programmed and computer assisted instruction. Next is commonly used instructional media. What they are? Chalkboard. First one is chalkboard or blackboard, which we use in our classrooms. 30 by 40 inches painted dark, mostly green color, white color, black color. Then it is oldest cheaper and universally used AV aid. Not audio, it's visual aid. Audio also there here present because the teachers talk with the student. Then uses makes group instruction more concrete and understandable. In our classes there are 40 to 60 students are there, and we can easily use the chalkboard for them. Then set standards of neatness, accuracy and speed can restore the attention of the learners. Vague statement can be clarified with the help of chalkboard. Initiate oral visual sensations, means of motivation, easy to give lecture notes. Scope, we can write the important point from our lecture on the chalkboard. Scope for lot of creative and decorative works. We can do anything. Types of chalkboard: fixed, blackboard on easel. Easel, I think you remember on our stage when we celebrate any health day, and we can show the uh, theme of that particular day and the sport behind the board, that is easel. Then rollerboard rollerboard which we can use which we use in our multipurpose hall when we give any kind of presentation on the projector. Then graphic boards, magna board is like a slates which we use in our school class. Then fixed board are board, green board, the board which are fixed in our classrooms. Then if the board color is green, there are white or yellow chalks used on that. Gray, yellow chalks may be used. Red color, green or yellow. Then orange, blue or light green, yellow, blue chalk. Then rose, purple or dark blue chalk. Then black, if the color black, then any light color we can use. Limitations of chalkboard: students heavily depends on teacher, doesn't care for the students' individual needs. Teacher can complete the topic, they do not give his or her intention to the individual student, makes lessons a dull routine. Constant use can affect the quality of the board. Okay. Rules: write clearly and do not overcrowd information. Letters and drawings should be large in size. Don't use abbreviations. If your students know the full word, then you can use. Underline the keywords or statements. Difficult illustrations to be drawn before. Then use color chalks for aesthetic appeal. Students feel good when you use colorful chalk. Rubbing vertically first and then horizontally to prevent from the dust. Then don't stand in front but to the side when you explain something with the help of this aid. Use of large scales, protractors, compass for large geometric figures. Then next is bulletin board. It is a device for displaying study material or current news in a visualized form. Okay, bulletin board used to display the news because so that everyone can see that. It is the work of the students, by students and for the students. Active and exciting display element in the classroom. Purpose of bulletin board: motivates the learner, broadens the sensory experience beyond the student's world, then gives correct initial information, supplement and correlate the instruction and saves time. Items that can be placed in the bulletin board are photographs we can published displayed on the bulletin board, newspapers cuttings, all creative works, group activities, announcements. On our entrance, college entrance, there are board which are full of photograph displayed there. Then uh, near the stairs there are board present. Here the time your timetable displayed. Then newspaper cuttings are also displayed there. Then next is advantages. Explain important event or announcements on bulletin board. Then report social activities in the school, share knowledge and stimulate curiosity, summarize and highlights the events, serves as an introduction to a particular topic. Then using guidelines, themes of message conveyed to be clear, simple, interesting and balanced. Then arrange the information in orderly way using appropriate material. Don't crowd the bulletin board. Give suitable title large enough to see from the distance. Use neutral color to the background. Layout to be attractive. Types of bulletin board: flannel board, magnetic board, fixed type, movable and foldable type. Next is flannel board, a rigid board covered using flannel, cloth, felt sheet, wool, cotton, paper or suede cloth. Things to be pasted should have a flannel or sandpaper on the reverse side. It can be used throughout the discussion. Pictures should be large enough to view by the learners. Then magnetic board, iron board coated with porcelain. Porcelain is a kind of polish in dark or green colors. Writings using chalk sticks, markers or crayons. Pictures can be pasted using disc magnets, then works as a combination of chalkboard and flannel board to display. Illustrations, drawings, painting or sketches, photographs, exact visual recordings of things which will occur in real life situation. For example, we have done sports meet, health day, then celebrate the college annual day, then celebration of the Florence Nightingale birthday and so many other days which are the related to real life situation. Maybe black and white or colored photographs, mounted or non-mounted, used either as a display in a bulletin board or projected with a projector. It should be accurate, prominent and understanding. Then flashcard, which you have usually used in your presentation, prepared as a single topic and presented serially. For example, you can prepare the flashcard for sign and symptoms and you can use for only one topic. Then compact card, which is flashed before to bring an idea, size 10 by 12 or 22 by 28 inches, used for group of 30 members and less. Message can be brief, simple line drawing or photographs or cartoons, and the content will be written in simple words behind each card. Can be used individually or with other charts. Advantages of flashcards: attract attention, conveys messages quickly, dynamic, flexible, maintains continuity of the lecture. Then easy to prepare, portable, economic, can be used for illiterate groups. Disadvantages: we can use for illiterate group to draw the pictures of the related topic. Disadvantages: used for limited number of people, prone for easy damage, time consumption in preparation is more. Posters: visual combination of illustration of messages conveyed to people. Uses: advertising an event or product, campaigning for a cause, giving directive, popularizing a slogan. Then drawing attention toward desirable action and values, giving warning, then propaganda. Features of good posture: brevity, concise message we can give with the help of posture. Simplicity, easily understandable idea, single and relevant idea you have to write on that. Layout, color there is attractive and suitable color should be used. Display in adequate lighting so that everyone can see clear. Diagrams. Simple drawing showing interrelationship by means of line and symbols. For example, stick figures, science figures, geometrical diagrams, facial expression, then can better used for summary and review. A good diagram should technically correct, neatly drawn and explained, well labeled and explained, can be moved and seen from all angles. Then the next is narrative chart, illustrative visual media. In visual media there are lots of things: narrative charts, the cause of effect chart, the chain chart, the evolution chart, pie chart, timetable chart, strip ts chart, flow chart, tabulation chart, gynecology chart, job chart, flip chart and overlay chart. Then maps, you know, the maps of India, map of world, graphic representation of the earth's surface, relief maps, historical maps and geographical maps. Graphs depicts numerical or quantitative relationship or statistical data in the form of visual symbols. For example, pie charts, pie graphs, bar graph, line graph, pictograms, ogive and histogram. You can study this in your statistics lecture if you remember. Then projected aviates. The uses of aviates appear to our senses and open better avenues of learning. Perception of information is better and its retention is improved. When we see something, then it retains for long time. Brings realities of our world into the classroom, abstract ideas to make them more concrete, economical in long run because of their repeated uses and coverage of large number of students. We can cover many students if we use the aviates. Then reinforcing, strengthening, it means strengthening, enforcing the spoken or written words by the teacher, helps the teacher in complementing her teaching efforts, helps in overcoming the language barrier and provide more clear ideas, provides a variety of instructional methods and motivates the students in independent learning, reduces the verbalism and thus reduce the boredom in the class. Next is why we use the aviates: to gain the attention of the student, recall prerequisite, we can obtain the students, present objectives to the learners, present new contents, support learning through examples and visual elaboration, elicit student response. Elicit means obtain the students. We can get the student response, provide feedback to them and take feedback from them. Then enhance retention and transfer, assess performance. Next is selection of instructional media, how we select it. Principles behind instructional media should suit the teaching objective. What are the objectives of your topic, teaching or subject? Unique characteristics of the special group of the learner, which class you are going to teach, then age level, what grade, what standard of the student, which age group are there, then specific educational values and stimulate interest and motivation. True representative of the real things, helps in the realization of desires and learning objectives. Next is, there are some criteria for selecting instructional media. First one, subject relatedness. The teaching or topic we are using in aviates, the subject totally related to the learner. Then supplementary role, it enhancing the learning curiosity in the students. Then it gives the accuracy. Then accessibility, everyone can easily get the idea or access. Variety, it gives the variety to the learner, and learner do not feel bored in the class. Then cost effectiveness, previewing utility. Then factors in selection of media, there are various factors which are considered in the selection of media. Institutional resource constraints. Institutions provide classroom to us, provide exact devices to us for use this media. Course content and appropriateness. Then learner characteristics, teacher's attitude and skills level, courses learning objectives, the learning relationship, learning location, time, and media richness. Then the next is practicability, student appropriateness, and instructional appropriateness. Is the instructional media, is the intended media practical, cost effective, time efficient, and understood by the instructor? Is the presentation adaptive for the learner responses? What is the range of viewing or hearing distance of the use of media? These all kinds of questions are there. Is the instructional media practicable, appropriate to the students, and it is appropriate instructions given to the learner? Then the next is, there are some objectives behind the learning instructional media. There are learning objective: enhance the intellectual skill, cognitive strategy, verbal information, attitude, and motor skills. Okay. Then the next is learning objective. In learning objective, we can enhance our cognitive skills and attitude. What comes under cognitive? Knowledge, comprehension. Comprehension means understanding. Application, how we apply the knowledge. Analysis, analyze the knowledge, it is effective or non-effective. Synthesis and evaluation. Then what come under skill? Oral and written communication present in the group. Is it problem solving? Creativity, computer team are there. Then leadership. Then attitude, motivation to learn and excitement about topic or not. Then if we talk about the institutional constraint, then what kind of things the institution can provide? Equipment availability, classroom connectivity, software, and material availability. After that, the course content, entire course content related to entire course. Then individual session. Then learner, sensory channel, cognitive ability, motivation, and class size. Teachers, teaching philosophy, technology skills. Then relationship, professor student, student student, outsider, and student. Then location, together, apart. Time, synchronous and asynchronous. Media richness, plain text through multimedia. The next is constraint in media selection. Constraint, or which kind of barrier? Instructional facilitation. There are facilities available for instruction. Then production constraint. There are productivity of the media selection. Unavailability of the material. There are material available or not. Then guidelines in preparation. The material must be easy to see and understand, simple and direct, easy to handle and transparent. Emphasize the key point, good working condition, time and place appropriate. Colors should be natural to the related items, appealing, attractive, clear and visible, please to the senses, accurate, represents the things that are common and understandable, conveys up-to-date ideas. Words should be clear, brief, visible, simple, and with required space in between. Create interest and positive attitude in the learners. After that, utilization of instructional media. The principle of selection suit to the unique objectives of learning and needs of the learners. Adaptation to the intellectual maturity and previous learning experience. Familiarity with the advantages and disadvantages of instructional media in use. Educational values besides being interesting and motivating, true representative of the things need to teach. These kind of principles present in the utilization of instructional media. Then principle of preparation. Is it cost effective way of preparation? Commercial instructional media versus teacher made instructional media, which we can use for the preparation. Preparation using locally available materials. Principle of presentation. Plan the use of instructional media. Visual media should not be confused with entertainment. Working conditions should be checked before the use. Then care to prevent damage. Maximum visualization of the media. Direction in between the presentation to be avoided to the maximum to decrease the distractions. Then principle of physical control, principle of response, evaluation. Then importance, instructional media never replace a teacher, but it supplement the teaching process. Supplement means it enhancing the teaching process, but it never replace the teacher. Then next is steps in utilization. First of all, review the instructional goals, which goals we are going to obtain. Then determine the best medium, review existing media, prepare a new media, conduct a formative evaluation and implement or apply, then evaluate, if need, revise again. Then teacher's role in effective use, planning. Know clearly the objective of presentation. Before the presentation, teachers know the objective. Then plan well in advance. According to the objective, teachers can plan before that. Then anticipate the size of the audience. Plan the variety of colorful and vivid deviates. Plan in advance about the time of presentation. Then preparation. Place and seating arrangement. Then anticipate the need for special efforts. Make sure that all the equipments are in working condition, rehearsing or reviewing, so that we can know about the condition of the equipments. Sequence the aids in the order of their use. Keep them within the reach so that our time should save. Then presentation. Motivate and stress the key point. Then present in the right time and proper sequence. Display only one aid at a time, otherwise the student distract. Then remove all unrelated items from the presentation. Then stand beside and not in front, so that it will be visible. Speak facing the audience and not by side. Evaluation using discussion and dispel misunderstanding if any. Then undertake a follow-up study. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you very much for your attention.